Welcome back, YouTubers. I want to talk to you today about how I store the Starlink. I've looked online pretty extensively, and I've struggled to find good storage options that fit how I use the Starlink. So far online, the most practical one I've seen is to buy a tub at Home Depot or Walmart that actually fits the original interior packaging, and that's a pretty adequate solution. The problem I have with those is that they're a plastic tub and they don't survive very well in my area. This is an object that tends to get put in the back of the truck. I suppose if I stored it in the Airstream and pulled it out while we used the Airstream and then put it back, it would be adequate. But we actually have a little bit different way that we use it. Yes, we do use it on the Airstream when we travel, but it also lives in my truck because I use it as a backup internet when I'm out in the field and out of cell phone range for my work and I need internet. So it needs to be something that stores in the back of the truck. I don't always have the back of the truck fully loaded, and so on dirt roads, it tends to bounce around and can slide around the truck quite a bit. And as a result, we've discovered that plastic packaging just doesn't work very well. Now, this isn't for the Starlink. This is just some wiring that I have here in the garage. But it's a prime example of why I don't like the plastic tubs. They're just not very durable for how we use it. The solution for us in the past has been to use Pelican type cases. This one I keep my drone in. And if you look closely on it, you can see that there's some pretty serious dings on the corners especially, but even down on the bottom, it tends to slide around, it tends to get beat up. And I really like the Pelican cases because they're tough. The issue has been finding a case that would actually fit the Starlink original packaging. Now, I have the ability to cut foam pretty accurately to fit it. I suspect the original packaging is not going to last for a lot of years. But while it does last, I want to use it, and it provides a good template for cutting the foam. What I found after considerable research was a case that actually fits the packaging really well from SKB. So this is the case. Now, it's rather large, but then so are the tubs that you would store it in, but it does have the toughness of the Pelican type cases that I'm looking for. It is heavy, much heavier than the tubs. The case by itself weighs about 12 to 15 pounds, and then the Starlink also weighs another 8 to 12 pounds after you include the cable. And so you don't end up with an incredibly light project. But the nice thing is this case has several options, such as wheels, so that you can wheel it around if you so desire on a hard surface. It has 5 latches, 1 on either side, 3 along the front, and some pretty solid hinges in the back. So let's take a look at how we fit things in here. Now, as is typical with cases that fit the original packaging, you need the appropriate width so that it doesn't slide around so much, which this actually provides. You also need the appropriate length, and this one has a little bit extra, but that's going to work in our favor, and I'll show you in just a minute. The depth or the height is also very important because when this closes, because we don't know what orientation this is going to store in, it needs to slightly compress the packaging in order to store everything effectively. So first off, we put the cabling in that we use to attach the Starlink to the trailer. Then, of course, the router. We don't normally use the router, but I keep it in the case because we use this for more than just the Airstream, and I need to be able to use the original cable at times when I'm traveling. So the router will fit in just like that. I like to put the cover in to protect the face of the router from rubbing against the top of the Starlink. And then Dishy fits in just like that. And then of course, you've got the spacer that comes with it. The stand we keep because I do use the stand and it fits in nice and tightly. And then of course the top storage. Now you'll notice this sticks up quite a bit, but it's just the right amount. So this case will close on it, slightly compress it, and keep it from bouncing around. But we have this extra space over here. That comes in very useful. To keep the flexibility of being able to use it wherever we're at, we have to, of course, carry the router, which you saw me put in there. We have the power cable. We have an Ethernet adapter. And then we also have a replacement 75-foot cable. Now, my wife provided me with this wild and crazy bag, but all of these accessories fit nicely in the bag. And then the bag fits right in that little bit of extra space there. And everything closes down and latches nicely. And so now I have a rugged Pelican style case that can take the abuse. It stores in the back of the truck and it doesn't matter if it slides around. You can see it's already done a little bit of sliding around just in the short time we've had it. Some things have been marked up, although no large impacts. But that's it, a ruggedized storage case. So I'll put the link on Amazon to this below the description. And the only thing you'll need to find is some way to corral the cord in that little bit of extra space if you have an extra cord. There's enough room to put a 150-foot cord there if you so desire. So thanks for watching.